Here in our little corner of YouTube, all things corporate are looked upon with a great deal of skepticism, and often deservedly so. The conveyor belt that leads from politics to business and back again is very destructive in our current system. I rail against it from time to time, but ultimately I've come to realize that unless I'm going to devote my life to fixing it, that I'm simply going to learn how to play the game a little better in its current form, while speaking out against some aspects of it here, and try to help others play it a little better too in the meantime. After all, your own actions have far more to do with your personal happiness than any president. I learned that lesson well during the Bush years. There's one undercurrent to anti-corporate sentiment that still puzzles me though, and that's the demand by some people that certain other people not participate in some aspect of the market economy. There are a couple people on YouTube that I'm subscribed to who will every once in a while get a contract to pitch a particular product. I think I speak for everyone when I say that I would rather see a different video when this happens, unless they're really clever about their pitch. But when being a commentator on the internet is your main source of income, I'm not sure why this is met with such anger from some people. In fact, when the Amazing Atheist did his ad for the girl with the dragon tattoo, it reminded me that I had wanted to add it to my Netflix list, and I did. So yeah, thanks for the reminder, TJ, but others were incensed and left all kinds of angry comments. I'd actually be interested to hear TJ address his critics on this directly, since of course TJ's a big boy and doesn't need me to help defend him. Insert obligatory meaningless joke here. Most corporations are entities that are simply there to make money, and will do it in whatever way they're allowed to do. I like some of them and I dislike some of them. Some of them could use more regulation for the sake of not allowing them to tank the whole economy, or the environment, or the health of their own workers. But since there's only so much I can do about that, I try to be an educated consumer. I'm not being paid a single penny for recommending any products, but I'm happy to do it for some companies because I enjoy their products, and/or they save me money. Unless I really disliked the company or product, I would have no problem getting paid to do it. I hope the Crocodile Army is more pragmatic about such things and wouldn't care unless, of course, I started pitching Scientology or those ionic energy magnets or something. In that case, please have me committed. This isn't exactly an endorsement for a corporation because I don't even know who makes it, but I love the Waze Navigator app for my iPhone. It's a completely free app that uses real-time crowdsourced data to show you the best route to your destination based on current conditions, including information about travel hazards and even speed traps and cameras, and it's saved me a lot of time already in the short time I've had it. It has completely replaced the Garmin unit that I paid a couple $100 for a few years ago, and the Garmin didn't have any of those real-time functions embedded in it for free. The Garmin iPhone app is about $40, and last I knew the user rating on it was lower than the rating for Waze, which was free. On Waze you can pick a username and can even ping people that are on it at the moment. I'm Zaunstar on there too. Now you can send creepy messages directly to my phone. I travel quite a bit for work, and as much as I can for pleasure too. When I travel, I prefer Hilton hotels. The reason I prefer them is because the rewards program is more generous than most others, which is convenient because I probably average 25 nights a year with them, and since last year I've been using their rewards card as my main credit card. I accumulate points like crazy, and I get lots of free nights from it to use on vacations with Mrs. Zaunstar. I like that I know what to expect in a Hilton, no matter where in the world I'm staying, and they never fail to treat me well. In fact, I'm using Hilton points during a trip to Scandinavia by myself in September that I will detail in the info bar for those who want to meet up. And the membership levels are pretty reasonable to attain too, and I'll probably make Platinum this year. Oh, but there is currently no membership level that gives you a date with Paris Hilton. They did thank me for the idea when I emailed the suggestion though. Before you peg me for being a total corporate shill though, let me tell you about a corporation I can't stand, and that's Jiffy Lube. I had a crappy old Saturn SL1 back in the late 90s when I was just out of grad school, and it sucked, but it was by far my biggest asset at the time. I went there for just an oil change and knew very little about cars. They talked me into some radiator flush or other nonsense that was very expensive for me at the time. They scared me by telling me that the car could have problems if I didn't do it, but the dealer later told me, and people on the interwebs confirmed, that it was nonsense. So they got $100 extra of business from me, but lost probably over $1,000 since that time because they took advantage of me. If they wanted me to promote them on YouTube, I would want enough money from them to do some sort of leveraged buyout, where I could totally destroy the company, Mitt Romney style. Yes, that would be poetic. Hey, who says Mr. Nice Guy can't be a little vindictive?